Hello again. We're back to the see now my eyeline is shifting because we're back to the mirror and camera thing now because of that terrible focus problem yesterday. A lot of these things will improve once we're out of here, and like we don't even have a garden in this house for. I know today's first world problems, right? But yeah, but everything's relative. Um, so yeah, we got this tiny apartment that I showed you around yesterday. I've got no garden for the little one to run around in, and we're planning on another little one. We hopefully we'll get a better financial situation going on in the next few months, I hope. We'll see. But yeah, see, now estate agents is one of the problems, right? Because nowadays, and I honestly thought there were regulations against this that had come in now, but my mistake. I've lived in a lot of different places. This apartment is my 30th address in 44 years. I've lived in a lot of places. And most of those have been rented. I did own my own home once, but the relationship I was in at the time, like I was married before, and that fell apart, and we divide up the proceeds from the house. I couldn't get another mortgage, to carry on from there. So it's complicated. But so I went back to renting homes. And nowadays, we're still, at the moment at least, we're still having to rent for the time being because our incomes, we both work from home. Our incomes fluctuate so wildly that most mortgage lenders won't even look at us. And that happens quite often with renters as well. So the way that we get around this quite often is that we pay 6 months of rent in advance, right? Now, quite rightly, most landlords, they look at you and you pay 6 months rent in advance, and they like, oh, yeah, okay, they're just falling over themselves to give you the property. But that's becoming less and less true these days. And we saw a property not so long ago. I'm actually kind of glad we didn't get it now, but it's been relisted. It's been a few weeks now. It's been relisted. And one of the problems that a lot of people are having is the crazy, crazy fees that estate agents want. You're trying to get into a home, you're renting, you don't have a mortgage, and, they're like, well, this is, I don't know, £400 a month, or it's £800 a month, whatever, somewhere in that sort of window, right? And they're like, yes, no problem. You can apply to see if you get the property. It will only cost you £200 per person, per applicant, right? So if you're a joint applicant, like me and my wife, the joint applicants, oh, we'll reduce it a bit. It's like £350 if you want 2 applicants. Okay, right. And then there's a £50 administration fee. Oh, what was the 350 quid for then? Well, yeah, and then, we're going to charge you another £75 to take the inventory. Eh? And then I found one the other day, and then on exit of the tenancy, there's a £100 fee on top of that to do the inventory again. It's like, well, hang on, wait, surely that's your problem, right? You want to come and do the inventory and make sure we haven't nicked anything, which is not very likely because I never ever rent furnished places. I refuse. I always rent unfurnished places. And I always put a property back exactly the way I found it, or better. In the case of this apartment, it'll be a lot better than it was when I found it. Not the landlord's fault, to be fair. He's been really good about it. It's just the previous tenant left it in quite a state, and the landlord would have tidied it all up and put it straight, but we wanted to get in here quickly because we'd been living on someone's couch basically for a while after we moved here from Sweden. So yeah, we're trying to get a new property now. I'm all squashed into this little office. Poor Amki, she's working on her laptop from her table, and the laptop she's using is 10 years old now, and it's really started to become a major issue for her. So the little one's got nowhere to sleep. We could just about maybe get a bed to fit in this room, but we'd struggle to get it in and still get the door open. But then I couldn't do my work at night time, because that's when I do most of my work, is when Amki and the little one are asleep. I need a lot of quiet, even though I have an audio booth. It doesn't cut out all sound. So I do a lot of it, and I have sleep problems, of course, so I do a lot of my work at night. I couldn't do that if she was in here. And also my other daughters, and my son they'd have nowhere to sleep when they came over. So yeah, it's a bit of a problem. But the YouTube setup and everything else, at the moment we're all squashed in. It's a weird setup, but we're really, really, really hoping to improve it in the next, couple of months, really.